From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
This is a phenomenal bike ride, and I can tell you he's so casual. This is his first time he's ever biked the full 112 miles here in Hawaii. He's never been up to the turn in Harvey. He's certainly been up there today. Doesn't he look...
About to say we're here on a mission trying to find a way, an A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day, spread a little aloha around the world, cause it's breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Starting day 3, Breakfast with Bob, our 11th year of Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggles on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Quintanaroo, Zoot, the original triathlon brand, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our guest right now, a young man who's changing the world. There's no question about it. Sam Holness is the first person with autism to finish an Ironman, finished Ironman Frankfurt, and not just finished it, went like 12, 20, 29, and then he went and did, before that he did 70.3 World Championship in 5:45, and joining us, Sam Holness, his amazing father, Tony. How are both of you?
We're good, Bob, thank you.
We're good, we're excited.
You're a little excited, huh?
Yeah, very, very excited.
Let's move these microphones a little closer. Right there. That's perfect. Cool. So how fun was it to do, well, first of all, St. George? Was that a hard race for you, Sam?
It was very, very hard race. It was. Yeah, but the swim wasn't that hard. But the cycle through the 90k cycle was like insane, thanks to the sandstorm, thunder, and lightning, and the rain, and the run, the half marathon run. I had to run up the big hills. It was so hilly and more hills.
I love it. So, Tony, when you have a child who is diagnosed with autism, there's a lot of perceptions of, they usually start with what you can't do. Yeah. And you are one of those positive people, as well as your wife. And when you get that diagnosis, what are your thoughts in terms of what can my child achieve and how can we help him achieve that?
I think the first thing is we didn't know a lot about autism.
Right.
And then when you hear the word disability, then all sorts of challenges and fears creep into you.
Right.
And then do you realize this is a person that has some really unique skills?
Right.
And from he was little, he was swimming at 3. He didn't talk till he was 6.
So he was swimming before he was talking.
He was swimming before he was talking. It was quite amazing. And he learned to swim in 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah, the swimming coach came along, and he had a little bet with me. So we were swimming in the pool, and he said, Sam had his, we again were so cautious, he had his swimming guards on, his swimming,
sure,
so he could float.
Floaties and all that.
Everything.
Yeah.
And Carl came and said, I can teach him to swim in 2 hours.
Really?
And I said, nah. And I made a bet. I said, if you teach him to swim, I'll book 10 lessons. And 2 hours later, Sam was up and down the pool in the deep end.
That is so cool. And did you like swimming right away, Sam?
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
It's such a fun, you feel free, right? When you're in the water, you feel you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, very, yeah. Of course. Doesn't matter if it's deep or not. I just go for just enjoy myself.
That's what it's all about. And Tony, when you talk to other experts in autism,
Yeah.
I'm sure they were talking about the limitations and the things that Sam couldn't do.
Yeah.
And how did you deal with that?
I mean, it's everything from schooling,
Right.
sport. It's the little things that happens to kids that we don't understand. It doesn't get picked for sports games,
Right.
for example. And the most amazing thing is when we meet his ex-teachers or his ex-nursery nurses and they see what Sam is doing, they're so astonished. It is so amazing because A lot of people said they can't, but
Always. No is the first answer a lot
no
of
is
times.
the first answer. I think it's easy.
Always easy.
Maybe it's a little lazy, but I think now we're encouraging others. You know, they've learnt from Sam, and it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. So, and he's encouraging so many people.
What I love is when people change perceptions.
Yeah.
Right? Chris Nikic is changing perceptions with Down syndrome.
Yep.
We've done it with amputees and wheelchair athletes. How important is the sport angle of this? Obviously, education is important, but I just feel there's something, the power of sport is underestimated in what it can do for all of us, and especially people who are facing challenges.
Look, there's a simple reason why we did this. You know, one, it helped with Sam's social skills, his coordination skills,
Right.
because he had weak motor skills. But most of all, you know, I'm just going to put it out there. In the UK, the average life expectancy of an adult with autism is 54 years.
What?
And they're health-related issues, all health-related. So once you transform his diet, you transform his exercise, we want him to have the best chance of a healthy life.
Right.
And that's before anything else. And then we started on that journey, and this guy could run.
Right from
You
the
know,
beginning.
He could swim, and we thought, why not? And it's, again, he can do it. He's positive, he's strong, he's got the focus to be a great athlete. But if we didn't give it a try, we wouldn't be here today, Bob. Really.
And for yourself, did you have a triathlon background? You were an IT guy, right?
Yeah, I was an IT guy. You know, as an IT guy, I was a sales guy, you know, sitting and having lots of lunches and
Yes.
lots of high carb food. And, you know, when COVID started 2.5 years ago or something like that, I basically gave up my job.
Really?
Yeah, I decided to coach Sam. And that's what I'm still doing 2.5 years later.
Has it been an amazing experience?
It's been unbelievable. It's the best thing. Well, he talked about what does sport do for you. It's transformed Sam's life, and it's given me purpose as well. You know, as a dad coaching, I would tell any dad there is nothing greater than this.
What's been the biggest challenge?
There've been a few challenges. I suppose it's, again, convincing people. So Sam didn't ride a bike until he was 14.
Right.
And then you have coaches saying he only started doing triathlons, you know, when he was 23, and they're saying it's a bit late and whatever. And I'm saying, no way. There were lots of great athletes out there
big time.
who were starting late, and they're still going well. We know there's some really great ones in their 40s, still going really well. And that's the objective, to get Sam to be a professional. This is something he's going to do for life, hopefully, as long as he remains healthy. This is a life skill.
We were just chatting, and I was chatting with Sam about this, that Chris Hammer, who he might have met over time, who's missing his hand, just this year became the first challenge athlete to become a professional triathlete. Your goal is to become the first professional triathlete who is dealing with autism, correct?
Yeah, correct. Definitely correct.
How important is that for you?
It's very important to me. It doesn't matter if the workout is like easy or repetitive.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you look at for yourself, what was cycling the hardest thing for you to get comfortable at?
Sometimes the cycling can be uncomfortable. Sometimes the most worst part of the cycling is the gut, the GI
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we had chatted with that about trying to work on that.
Yeah.
And one of the companies that's been really supportive, HOKA, has been amazing for you guys, right, Tony? I mean, right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, and that's just another one of the amazing stories. We were doing the triathlon in Hamburg.
Yes.
Yeah, and we met HOKA. That's where we first met HOKA. And we went to the stand, and I have this habit. I just go around stands asking for stuff all the time. You know, that's part of my job.
It's sort of a father does that, I think.
And we went to the HOKA stand, and they had the new Carbon X.
Yes.
Had just come out, the blue and white ones, and I said, wow, wouldn't it be great if Sam could run in those, the first autistic triathlete to run in those at Hamburg. And, you know, the guys looked at me and said, you're supposed to buy these for $180. And we got up here, and he ran his first race in those, and then they hooked us up with HOKA in the US, And that's how this wonderful relationship started with HOKA, and it's been excellent. You know, we love the company because it's corporate responsible. It's just a great.
They're great.
It's great.
How was that experience when you went to Frankfurt?
Frankfurt. That was my Ironman debut, Frankfurt. Cause yes, he had no worries during the swim, but during the cycle, there were some worries during the cycle. Cause my
The GI issues?
Yes, the GI issues happened. And the stomach got all slushy when I did the marathon. And I would have did better if I would have gone and I would have got faster and better if it hadn't for my with that uncomfortable gut.
What's fascinating to me is still went 6:15. You swam 104 and you rode 6:15 despite the gut issues.
Yeah.
Anybody here would be pretty darn happy
Yeah.
with that. And Tony, I know you're doing this obviously for your son.
Yeah.
But you're also doing this for other parents who have children, if they have autism or they have something else.
Yeah.
You want them to know that there's a role model here who can help change their lives.
Definitely. I mean, that's I get emails, I get DMs from parents daily sometimes. Yes. I've spoken to dads who are struggling with this. And, you know, they'll talk to me, and I'll just talk to them. I'll spend half an hour, and I'm saying, I'm here if you need to call because they're struggling with their sons or their daughters. But I always say, I use the word hope, because a lot of parents are saying, we don't know what's going to happen to our children.
Right.
And I say, just keep at it, don't give up, believe. But autism is a spectrum, and there's some kids on the spectrum it's going to be more difficult for.
Sure.
Yeah. And Sam's challenge is about communication. But, you know, there are runners, there are cyclists out there. I know a lot of autistic runners who are nervous about going out and showing their skill.
Right.
And that's one of the things we want to do. We want those guys and girls to get out there and run and show everybody that they can be great athletes, because they train hard. It's just that it's not converted to a competitive environment.
You mentioned that autism is really Sam's superpower. Why do you say that?
In the autistic world, some people don't like the term superpower, but I use it.
I love it.
I use it because to be a great athlete, you need to be focused, you need to be relentless, and you need to be determined. And that's Sam. You know, this is what he does 24/7. He's never missed a training session. He competes, and he just does his job. It's a job that he enjoys. And you know what it's like, Bob, when you have a job that you enjoy. It's the greatest thing in the world. Exactly.
This is my job. This is my office. This isn't a bad place to be.
No.
You mentioned that the greatest day of your life was finishing Ironman Frankfurt.
It did, yeah.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
When this is the mecca of triathlon, what would it mean to you to finish here?
What would it mean to finish in Kona?
Yes.
Oh, that. Let's see.
Would it be great?
It would be fun. Yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun conquering Kona.
Yes.
And that's the fall. Make me the first autistic Ironman who conquers the whole event.
I love it. I always tell people that what's great about Ironman, because we've seen it over the years. You know, the first person with diabetes who did Ironman, first person with AIDS who had done Ironman, first person in a wheelchair to finish Ironman. That this event in this sport is an equal opportunity abuser. Mm-hmm. It doesn't care.
Yep.
It doesn't care.
Yep.
Get from point A to point B, swim, bike, and run, and you're an Ironman. Period. End of story. What does it mean to you, Sam, to be a role model, to know that there's other kids out there and their parents who don't know that if they could do a small triathlon or run, but then they see you, and then they go, if Sam can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
Does that mean a lot to you?
Definitely, yeah. Well, problem is, problem is kids don't even know what a triathlon is. Because of if I do is other events like, I don't know, football or basketball or something.
Yes.
Anything like sporty. But if I teach one of them, and if they did compete in triathlon, I should suggest I make them start with a super sprint.
They should start with super sprint and then move up,
Yeah.
and not to start with the longer distance.
Yeah.
So, Tony, when's your first triathlon?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot, right? Because Sam has been trying. I'm going to do it.
You've been trying to get him to race?
I am going to do it, right? I
Yeah.
am going to do my first triathlon, my first sprint triathlon.
Yeah.
Next year. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say this for the
On
world
the
to
camera.
see.
Everybody
on the
say
camera,
this.
yeah.
I'm going to hold you to this.
And then I'm going to do a sprint, and I'm going to do an Olympic next year. Okay? And my wife's laughing over there, but I am going to do it. And I'm not going to go any further than that, but we'll see how it goes, right? Because I know there's an over 60s age group here.
I'm in the 70 to death category, so you're
Yeah,
more than welcome to join
I've
me.
got time. Yeah, so, but I'm going to commit now that I'm going to do it. Because I can swim,
Yes.
but I just need to,
Take
I'm
some
gonna
time.
Do it. I'm going to do it.
I like it.
I'm going to do it. I can't coach him. I can't tell him what to do and not do it myself.
You've got to be authentic.
I got to be authentic.
Exactly.
Yes, we should. That's what I've been wanting to do. Make Dad do every time. Get his body off that environment. Do tons and tons of exercise.
See, get him exercising. Good idea. Look at that. I like it. This guy's become a role model for you.
Oh, he is my hero.
Really?
Yeah, he is my hero. It's if I point to anyone and says, "Who is your hero? Who influences you?" He does things I could never dream of doing. Yeah, he just does it, and that's it. So he is my hero, and I'm proud to say that. I
love it.
That's it.
Sam, good luck next week in the triathlon.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you
Of
for
course.
everything you guys are doing to really change perceptions and change the world.
Yeah.
I love that. Poncho Man, take us out.
Yeah.
Aloha means hello, and aloha means goodbye, and aloha means I love you, and I want to take you high. I want to get high with a little aloha, and we can touch the sky with a little aloha, aloha, and breathy sweat bar.
Thank you, Poncho Man.